Hello, and thank you for joining us on Science in the Classroom. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of allowing the student to be the inquirer, the one asking the questions and doing the research on their own. We're going to take a look at Mr. Miller's 5th grade class and what he is doing to incorporate science into his everyday class. Let's take a look.
Hello class, today we're going to explore the process of making a cup of coffee. Now class, what do we know about coffee? Yes, Henry. Yes, coffee does have antioxidants. Anyone else? Now I'm going to show you guys the general process of how to make a cup of coffee, and then I'd like you to get into groups together and experiment on how to make the best cup of coffee. Be thinking about the amount of coffee, the water, just be creative and see what you can come up with.
Let's pause there for a moment and talk about some of Mr. Miller's techniques. As you can tell, Mr. Miller presented his experiment with the class in a way that immediately brought the students into the picture. He asked the students what they knew about coffee and explained that they will be getting in groups to do their own exploration. He is going to continue and give us an example of how to do this experiment, so let's take a look.
We will need certain items to explore this process. Coffee, a French press, your favorite coffee mug, a coffee bean grinder, an electric kettle, but don't forget, these 2 items are the most important. Trendy glasses and a beanie.
Here we are seeing the teacher's role. He is giving an explanation, not only in his words, but in his actions, so that the students can see what is happening and what their science experiment will be looking like when they get in their own groups to discuss and explore their science.
That is good. All right, guys, let's discuss your observations of the science of making coffee. As we talk about this, I'd like you guys to take some notes in your journal.
Here we see the students' role. They are getting to have hands-on time with the ingredients of the science experiment. They can communicate with others and with themselves in their own science exploration journal.
All right, guys, that was fun. Making coffee is one of my favorite things. Now let's discuss, what can you guys tell me you learned about this process, and how can we learn more about the process of making coffee?
And what can we do to learn more? That is how Mr. Miller ended his lesson here, and that is the best way to do it. Students, how can we learn more about what we just learned about? This is a form of assessment. Students, what have you learned? What do you want to continue to learn? And then to bring in the home life or the parents to send home a newsletter or something handy with the students that day of the experiment that they have completed, so that the home, the family, can then continue the exploration with their student. This creates a whole learning environment where the student can just continue their learning and their exploration. So thank you for joining us today on our show, and we hope to see you again on our next month's issue about how to make lemonade. Thank you.